Hey guys, welcome to today's lesson. We're talking about 5.8, which is changing fractions to decimals. Last time we talked about changing decimals to fractions. Now we're going to go the opposite way. What's important to remember is we need to take top divided by bottom. So 1/4 actually means 1 divided by 4, or 1 divided by 4 is what we're going to do. This is why we've been practicing our decimals so much. We know that a whole number is actually the same thing as like 1.0, right? We bring our decimal straight up and we start with, can 4 go into 1? Nope. So it's going to be 0 point something. Can 4 go into 10? Yes, it can go in there 2 times. 2 times 4 is 8. 10 minus 8 is 2. We aren't done yet, so we're going to have to add a 0, bring it down. And how many times can 4 go into 20? 5 times. 5 times 4 is 20. 20 minus 20 is 0. We've used up everything. There's nothing more to take down. So 1/4 is the equivalent of 0.25. But we'll get more practice with that. Let's keep going. So 5/8. We need to take top divided by bottom. So that means our 5 is going to go inside the house. Our 8 is going to go outside. Again, whole numbers are the same thing as 5.0, having a 0.0 afterwards, so I can bring my decimal straight up. 8 can't go into 5, but 8 can go into 50 6 times. 6 times 8 is 48. And my pen froze for a second there. There we go. 50 minus 48 is 2. And we can add a 0 and bring it down. How many times can 8 go into 20? That would be 2 times. 2 times 8 is 16. 20 minus 16 is 4. I would maybe be tempted to stop, but I recognize that 40 is going to work really well for me. 8 can go into 40 exactly 5 times. When I take 40 minus 40, I get 0, and I have nothing more to bring down. So 0.625 is what 5/8 is equal to. So we're going to skip these ones here for just a few minutes. We're going to keep going. What happens when I have a mixed number and I want to write it as a decimal? Whenever I have a mixed number, my whole number just becomes my whole number in my decimal as well. So if I had 15 and 2/5, I'm going to have 15 and a fraction. I need to take 2/5 and or a decimal, I'm sorry. I need to take 2/5 and figure out what the decimal for that would be. 2 divided by 5, I would do the work and it becomes clear that the answer is 4. So 15 and 2/5 inches is the same thing as 15.4 in decimal form. So the whole number stays the whole number. It just comes before the decimal point. So let's keep looking on here. So we need to remember our different types of decimals. We talked about it before. And a terminating decimal is one that comes to an end. So in our last example, 15.4, that was it. It came to an end. Before that, we did 0.625, and it came to an end. Those are all terminating decimals. It doesn't matter how many place values there are. If it comes to an end, it's called a terminating decimal. But we know sometimes we have those decimals that go on and on and on, and those ones are called repeating decimals. And when we have repeating decimals, we don't want to keep dividing and getting the same answer, so we want to cut it off with a bar over whatever repeats. So, but remember, we need to be very careful about where we put that bar. So if we look at this very first one, we have 0.33333, and it's going to go on forever. So we can cut it off by just saying 0.3 and putting that bar over the 3. In this one, I have 2.010101. The 0,1 is what's repeating, so I have a longer bar that's going to cover both the 0,1. The bar has to cover everything that repeats. So in this last one, I've got 0.4205205. Notice the bar is just over the 205. That 4 does not show itself again. It's only there in the beginning. So it does not get to be put under the bar. You need to make sure you keep that in mind. All right, So we've just got a couple examples here for you. If we had 7/6, which is an improper fraction, we can do the same thing. It's still top divided by bottom. The 7 goes inside the house, the 6 goes out. We put our decimal point and zeros after it, bring the decimal straight up, and we know that 6 can go into 7 one time, and so we continue on like normal. So 7/6 is equal to 1.6 repeating. If we have 1 and 5/33, again, we're going to do the same thing. We need to just figure out what the decimal point is for that fraction of the number, and we have our 1 becomes our whole number out front. So 5 divided by 33 gives you 0.15 repeating. All right, so we're already at the end. That was a pretty quick one. We're going to do a couple together here, and then you're going to do the rest on your own, and we'll talk about it tomorrow. So if I've got 5 2/3, what's the first thing I know? Well, I know my answer is going to be 5 point something. And I'm just going to say, did I say 2/3? I'm sorry, 2/5 is what I mean. I want to take 2 and divide it by 5. My 2 goes inside, the top number goes inside, the bottom number goes outside. I need to make it 2.0, so I'm going to put my decimal straight up. 5 can't go into 2, but it can go into 20, so I know it goes in there 4 times. 5 times 4 is 20. 20 minus 20 is 0, and I got nothing more to bring down, so I get to just put my decimal in here. 5.4 is the same thing as 5 2/5. How about this one? I know it's going to be 3 point something. So 5/8, let's check that one out. 5 divided by 8, we have to make it 5.0. I can bring my decimal straight up. 8 can't go into 5, but it can go into 50. 6 times. 8 times 5 is 48. If you remember, we already did this one at the beginning of our lesson. And so we bring it down. We've got 20. 8 can go into 20 2 times. We get a 16. 20 minus 16 is 4. We know that I can bring this 0. I got ahead of myself, sorry. 8 can go into 45 times. 40 minus 40 is 0. So 0.625, 3.625. 2/3, 2 divided by 3. So we've got 2 divided by 3. I'm going to extend this out. I need to make this 0.0, bring my decimal straight up. 3 can't go into 2, but it can go into 20 6 times. 6 times 3 is 18. 20 minus 18 is 2. Bring down the 0. 3 can go into 20 6 times. Oh, I see a pattern here, people. That means this is going to be 0.6 repeating. I'm going to get another 18. 20 minus 18 is 2, and I'll have 20 again to start with. So we have a pattern going on there. How about this one? 2 divided by 11. Let's go 2 divided by 11. 2.0 is what I need. So 11 can go into 20 one time. 20 minus 11 is 9. Bring down a 0. And 11 can go into 90 8 times. So let's get an 8 up here. 8 times 11 is 88. 90 minus 88 is 2. Bring down a 0. I have 20. How many? Oh, look, I'm starting right here again. I'm going to say 1, and I'll have 20 minus 11 is 9. Bring down a 0, 90. I'm following the same pattern here. So I'm just going to keep getting 0.18181818 all the time. So 3 and 2/11 becomes 3.18 repeating. All right, so I want you to try these bottom 4 on your own. I'll go ahead and erase this so you can see what these numbers are. And we'll check them tomorrow in class to see how you did. Top divided by bottom. A whole number stays a whole number. Otherwise, the top number goes inside the house, the bottom number goes out. And use what you know about dividing decimals to answer the rest of these questions. Have a great night, and I'll see you tomorrow.